Scorpio, right now, there's a man in your life who's undergoing a profound transformation because of you. You can't even imagine it, but every word you say, every reaction you make, every time you simply be yourself, you're dismantling years of conditioning within him. You're breaking patterns he didn't even know he had. You're forcing him to confront parts of himself he's always avoided looking at. And most interesting of all, you're not trying to teach him anything. You're simply existing in your rawest, most authentic Scorpio truth. This man isn't random. He's someone who's always managed to navigate life using masks, superficial charm, and subtle manipulation. Someone who's learned to say what people want to hear, to be who they need him to be. He's developed a perfect system for getting what he wants without ever having to truly expose himself, until you come along. Until he finds someone who can't be manipulated because you see through all the layers of lies like clear glass. For the first time in his adult life, this man is being forced to be real. Because with you, Scorpio, there's no middle ground. There's no edited or watered down version. Either he shows himself as he truly is, or you simply don't connect. And this is creating an internal chaos within him that he's never experienced before. He's discovering emotional muscles he's never used. He's being forced to feel things he's always managed to avoid. Have you noticed him acting strangely sometimes? Moments where he seems almost vulnerable, as if he's struggling with something internal. Moments where you catch a different look on his face, as if he's wondering who you really are. These are the moments where the lesson you're teaching is sinking in, where your authenticity is cracking the emotional armor he's built over years. The lesson you're unknowingly teaching is this: that real relationships require courage, that true intimacy only happens when two people have the courage to show themselves without filter, that true love isn't about conquering or impressing, but about allowing yourself to be seen completely, including the parts you've always hidden from everyone. And this lesson is terrifying and liberating this man at the same time. His entire life, he's managed to maintain superficial relationships where he never had to truly expose himself, where he could control the narrative, manage perceptions, keep people at precisely the distance he considered safe. But you, with your natural intensity, have completely destroyed that system. With you, he can't maintain his distance. He can't control how you see him. He can't use the tricks that have always worked with others. And this is forcing him to make a choice he's never had to make before. Either he truly opens up and risks being rejected for the person he truly is, or he loses the most authentic connection he's ever experienced. It's a terrifying choice for someone who's always been afraid of vulnerability, but it's also the choice that could save him from a lifetime of empty, unfulfilling relationships. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, this man is likely someone you've only recently met, but who has quickly become a significant presence. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, this may be someone who's been in your life for a while, but is only now being forced to show their true colors. And for those born between November 13th and 22nd, this man may be someone you thought you knew well, but who is revealing layers you never imagined existed. Regardless of your specific situation, the pattern is the same. Your authentic presence is acting as a ruthless mirror for this man. It's showing him everything he's been avoiding. It's revealing the difference between who he is when he's trying to impress others and who he is when he's being completely honest. And this revelation is causing an internal revolution that will change him forever. Scorpio, I need to stop for a moment and ask you a question that goes straight to the heart of what you're experiencing right now. Have you been feeling like someone around you is going through strange changes? Someone who sometimes seems almost like two different people, one you know, and another who appears at unexpected moments. Have you been noticing deeper looks, charged silences, reactions that seem disproportionate to what's happening on the surface? If you recognize these signs, you're not imagining things. You're truly witnessing the transformation of someone who is being forced to confront their own authenticity because of your presence. And if this resonates with you, I want you to leave a comment now. You don't need to give specific details, but simply write, "I'm seeing the transformation happen," because you know what will happen when you do. Other Scorpios going through the same experience will see your comment and feel less alone. They'll realize they're not the only ones unconsciously catalyzing profound changes in the people around them. Your simple confirmation may be exactly what someone else needs to understand, that what they're experiencing is real and powerful. Copy and paste now. "I'm seeing the transformation happen." Because your experience matters, your perception is valid, and your confirmation can help others trust what they're seeing and feeling. The lesson you're teaching this man goes far beyond relationships. You're showing him a completely different way of existing in the world, a way where truth isn't something to be avoided, but something to be embraced, where vulnerability isn't weakness, but courage, where feeling deeply isn't a risk, but a way to live fully. This man has probably spent his entire life avoiding difficult conversations, dodging moments of true intimacy, and keeping all his relationships on the surface where he felt safe. But with you, Scorpio, there is no surface. There is only depth, and he's being forced to dive into emotional waters he didn't even know existed within himself. Have you noticed how he sometimes falls silent after you've talked about something important? How he seems to be processing information that goes far beyond the words that were spoken? These are the moments where the lesson is truly sinking in, where his way of being is reshaping how he understands relationships, intimacy, and human connection. The transformation taking place within him is neither easy nor comfortable. He's being forced to dismantle an identity he spent years building. He's having to question assumptions about himself that he never imagined were questionable. He's discovering that much of what he's always believed about love, relationships, and connection was based on fear disguised as pragmatism. And the most powerful part of all this is that you're not doing anything special to bring about this transformation. You're simply being who you are. You're responding to situations with your characteristic honesty. You're reacting to people with your natural intensity. You're connecting the only way you know how, completely, deeply, without reservation. But for someone who's always lived superficially, your authenticity is revolutionary. It's as if you're speaking a language he's always wanted to learn, but never had the courage to try. It's as if you're showing him a country he's always dreamed of visiting, but always thought was inaccessible to someone like him. The most profound lesson you're teaching him is that he doesn't need to be perfect to be loved. He doesn't need to have all the answers to be respected. He doesn't need to hide his imperfections to be accepted. You're showing him, by example, that real relationships are built on foundations of truth, not on sandcastles made of carefully managed impressions. Scorpio. This man is discovering that he's always been afraid of the wrong things. He's always been afraid to be vulnerable, to admit he doesn't know everything, to reveal that he sometimes feels lost or insecure. But with you, he's learning that these aren't the things that drive people away. What really drives people away is falsehood, superficiality, and the refusal to truly connect. He's realizing that all these years he wasted time and energy trying to be impressive instead of being real, trying to appear as if he had everything under control instead of admitting when he needed help, trying to be who he thought people wanted him to be instead of discovering who he really was beneath all those masks. The revelation happening within him is so profound that it's changing not only how he relates to you, but how he relates to everyone. He's beginning to question other relationships in his life where he's always kept people on the surface. He's wondering how many opportunities for real connection he missed because he was too busy trying to manage impressions. And this is causing a complete reorganization of his value system. Things he's always considered important, appearance, status, external approval, are losing relevance, while things he's always ignored, honesty, authenticity, emotional courage, are becoming top priorities. You're witnessing and causing a spiritual rebirth in this man. Not in the religious sense, but in the deeper sense of someone discovering who they truly are, when they stop trying to be who they think they should be. It's as if he's waking up from a very long dream where he played a character that was never really him. The lesson you're teaching about authenticity is spreading to every area of his life. He's starting to be more honest at work about his limitations and needs. He's having more real conversations with old friends. He's questioning decisions he made based on fear rather than truth. Your influence is creating ripples that reach far beyond your specific relationship. But perhaps the most significant transformation is in his relationship with himself. For the first time, he's beginning to appreciate who he truly is instead of trying to become who he thinks he should be. He's discovering that his imperfections aren't flaws to be hidden, but characteristics that make him unique and interesting. Scorpio, you have this natural gift of seeing through the masks people wear. You can perceive someone's true essence even when they're trying very hard to hide who they are. And when you respond to that true essence instead of the mask, you force them to confront the difference between who they are and who they're pretending to be. That's exactly what's happening with this man. You're consistently responding to the real person he is, not the persona he's constructed. And this is creating a cognitive dissonance within him that can only be resolved one way. He needs to decide whether he'll continue wasting energy maintaining a facade that doesn't work with you, or whether he'll have the courage to drop the facade altogether. The lesson he's learning isn't just about relationships. It's about the difference between surviving and living. For years, he survived emotionally by keeping his distance, avoiding risks, and protecting himself from any possibility of real rejection. But survival isn't life. Life is connection, vulnerability, the courage to be seen fully. And you, without realizing it, are showing him that it's possible to live instead of just survive. That it's possible to have relationships where you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. That it's possible to be loved for who you truly are, including all the parts you always thought were unacceptable. The resistance you may have sensed in him sometimes isn't resistance to you. It's resistance to the change your presence is catalyzing within him. It's the fear of abandoning a protective system that, while limited and unsatisfactory, has always kept him safe from real emotional risks. But your consistency, your unwavering authenticity, is slowly convincing him that the risk is worth it. Every time you respond with honesty rather than diplomacy, you're teaching that real relationships can withstand truth. Every time you show vulnerability rather than invulnerability, you're demonstrating that real strength comes from emotional courage, not isolation. Every time you choose depth over superficiality, you're proving that real intimacy is possible. The process this man is going through is neither linear nor predictable. Some days he will seem completely transformed, embracing this new way of being with enthusiasm. Other days he will retreat, trying to return to old patterns that feel more familiar and safe. But even on the days of retreat, the seed you planted continues to grow within him. Scorpio, the final lesson you're teaching is perhaps the most important of all, that real transformation only happens when someone has the courage to become who they've always been, beneath all the masks. That spiritual growth isn't about becoming a different person, but about having the courage to be the person you've always been, but were afraid to show the world. This man is learning that all the energy he spent trying to manage how other people perceived him could have been used to know and accept himself. That all the superficial relationships he maintained to feel safe actually left him more alone than if he were truly alone. That the vulnerability he always avoided is actually the gateway to everything he's ever wanted: real connection, authentic love, inner peace. The transformation you're catalyzing in him will extend far beyond your relationship. It will affect how he relates to everyone from now on. It will change the kind of people he attracts into his life. It will influence the kind of opportunities he seeks and accepts. You're literally changing the trajectory of his life, and all of this simply by being authentically you. But perhaps most beautiful of all is that this lesson isn't one way. While you're teaching him about authenticity and emotional courage, he's teaching you about patience and compassion. He's showing you what it's like to be with someone who's learning to be real after years of living artificially. He's giving you the opportunity to be a healing force in someone's life simply by being who you are. The lesson you're unwittingly teaching will resonate in this man's life for years to come. It will influence how he raises his children, how he treats his co-workers, how he chooses future partners. You're planting seeds of authenticity that will grow and spread in ways you can't even imagine right now. And when he finally fully integrates this lesson, when he finally becomes consistently the real person you always saw in him, he'll look back and realize that you were the one who taught him it was possible to live without masks. That you were the one who showed him that real relationships exist and that he deserved to have access to them. Scorpio, stay exactly who you are. Keep responding to truth over superficiality. Keep choosing depth over convenience, because without realizing it, you're changing lives simply by refusing to live superficially. Your authenticity is a gift to a world that desperately needs to learn that it's possible to be real and still be loved. If you recognized yourself in this description, if you realize that you're truly teaching someone a profound lesson simply by being yourself, share your experience in the comments. You don't need to give specific details, but tell us what it's been like to witness this transformation in someone. Your words can inspire other Scorpios to appreciate the transformative power they naturally carry. Subscribe to the channel because your ability to catalyze authentic transformations in others is just the beginning of a deeper understanding of your own spiritual power. You'll need guidance on how to navigate relationships where you are the transformative force, how to maintain your own balanced energy while helping others grow, and how to recognize when someone is truly ready for the lessons you can teach. Turn on notifications so you don't miss content that will help you understand and consciously use your natural gift of seeing through masks and responding to people's true essence. Your authenticity is a healing force in this world. And the more you understand this power, the more you can use it intentionally to create positive change around you.